Anthelmintic resistance refers to the ability of a parasite to survive a dose that you'd normally expect to be lethal. It's one of the biggest problems facing the sheep industry at the current time. Now, fecal egg counts, where we actually count the number of worm eggs in the feces, are very useful in helping farmers identify whether the product they are using works or not, and it helps them adopt a dosing program suitable for their sheep flock. Currently, any wormer that a farmer purchases without a veterinary prescription will come from one of three groups. We have levamisols, or yellow wormers, we have benzimidazoles, which are white wormers, and we have the macrocyclic lactones, which are the clear wormers, oftentimes come in injection form. This test is used to check the efficiency of the worming program used on the farm, and it may indicate a problem of anthelmintic resistance with that particular wormer, or indeed that particular wormer group. As worms spread rapidly during the summer months, this is the general time that farmers will actually administer dosing program to their lambs, and therefore this is the ideal time to take this particular test with the fecal egg counts. The first stage of a drench test involves taking fecal samples from lambs, followed by dosing at the same time. This will be followed up either a week or a fortnight later by taking another sample to check if the dose given on day one has actually worked or not. Stage 1 of the drench test can be broken down into 6 steps. Step 1, you must organise equipment needed. You must contact a laboratory to request sample containers, allowing time to arrive by post before sampling. The list of approved laboratories with contact details is available on the Department of Agriculture website or from your Teagasc advisor. We must decide on which of the wormers to use, and the choice is basically between the yellow group, levamisols, the white wormers, the benzimidazoles, or the clear ones, which are the macrocyclic lactones, can be either an injection or a dose. It's important that whichever dose you choose, you must make sure that it's within its expiry date and it's not gone past the date of expiry. It is very important that you do not use a dual active. A dual active is a product that will contain more than one of these ingredients. We are testing the efficacy of the individual ingredients, and if you have two ingredients, we want to know which one is working or which one isn't. Do not use a new generation wormer, such as Zolvix or Startect. It is also important at this stage that you make yourself available some permanent spray, as we need to mark the lambs, because we will need to identify the same lambs in a week or a fortnight's time to do a retest. You might to make sure that you have a dosing gun available to treat the lambs, and you will need equipment to calibrate the actual doser. Gather your sheep. Randomly select 15 lambs and place them in a clean pen as soon as possible after gathering. Leave them a short time to defecate, which is basically to pass their feces. Take samples as soon as possible after gathering. Using gloves, collect fresh fecal samples from at least 10 separate fresh fecal deposits and place them in 10 separate containers. Make sure to collect more than a teaspoonful of feces, but do not overfill the containers. The lambs should not have been dosed for at least 6 weeks prior to sampling. Remove the 15 lambs from the pen and treat with the anthelmintic on the same day as the stage 1 fecal samples are collected. Immediately before dosing commences, check that the dosing gun is working properly and delivering the correct dose. This can be done by delivering 2 or more doses into a graduated measuring device, such as graduated cylinder or measuring jug or large empty syringe. It is also best to use the actual anthelmintic instead of water, as the test will be more accurate due to the viscosity of the anthelmintic. Weigh a number of the largest lambs in the group. Dose all lambs at rates according to the weight of the heaviest lamb. If there is a large weight range, divide the lambs into 2 or more groups according to size and dose each subgroup according to the heaviest lamb in that subgroup. Follow manufacturer's instructions. Administer the dose at the top and towards the back of the tongue and ensure the lamb swallows the entire dose. Identify the lambs by marking them, allowing the same lambs to be identified 1 to 2 weeks later. Complete the requested details on the form supplied by the laboratory. Place the completed form in the plastic Ziploc bag provided with all of the containers of the faeces. Pack and post the samples, preferably on the same day. Ideally, you need to take those samples early in the week to avoid having them in the post over the weekend. If you don't get to post them on the day of taking the sample, they should be kept in the fridge overnight.